All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is create some texture streaming. If I can find my project, here we go. All right, now we've brought in some Quixel meshes, but if you look, the max resolution is 2K, and this looks a little bit blurry. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a detail normal based on the distance to the camera. So as we get closer, this normal will start to pop up a little bit more. Set it away. All right. So we're going to take our normal and our detail normal. We'll plug our detail normal right into here. And then this is our corrected normal. So we're going to plug that into this lerp. Blend corrected angles. Now, this, and we'll plug that in there. And then I believe that should work. Distance. Okay, here's what we want. We're going to divide. This will be our distance, and we'll set this at 1,000. That in there, we'll plug that in there, and then we'll save it. Now, you see, we actually do have some normal maps in here. Looks pretty big, huh? As we get further away, let me just drag one of these out here, out in the sun, so we can see it. Go. Now that looks a bit extreme. What I'm going to do so now it's gone. So what we want to do, I think, I'm actually going to multiply. Wait, as that gets bigger, it goes away. Whoop, I'm wrong. Let me do this. Let me invert that. So just judging off of this here, as we get further away, as we get closer up, ooh, look at that. Oh, I see what's going on. That's not even right. Um, it's additional normals. Those are the normals there. We're going to blend those. Tell you what. What if I just do this for now? So we're going to have flat normals, and we're going to see where they start to come into play. This is a good way to debug. So you can already kind of see it, right? As I get further away, those normals start to come in. And as I get closer, they go away, right? Which is the opposite of, wait, no, they're still there. Oh, as I get away, they start to get pretty crazy. So we want to clamp this between 0 and 1. There we go. Now as we get closer, they're there. As we get further away, they're gone. Right? And then even as we zoom in, right, they're not there. So we kind of want them to get, yeah, so then they start to fade in. So if we do detail lighting, right, now you can see those normals start to come in as we get closer. See, further away, they go away. Which this is probably about the right distance we want. We can make it in our particular instance, we can make it just a little bit more, 1500. Yeah, so now when you get a little bit closer to these, well, these don't seem to stick out because it's so big. So check this out. We get the radius. So what this will do is multiply the scale of those detailed normals based on the size of the object. I think we actually want them. We actually want to divide that because we want them to get smaller as the thing gets bigger. Wait, is that right? No, we want them to stay the same size. Right, so as the thing gets bigger, we don't want them to get smaller. We want them to stay about the same size. So, okay. It's working. Where's our instance? How come? Where'd they go? Where did our normals just disappear to? Got them in there. Oh. That times the object radius. Yeah, okay, so now that's back. Now, if we multiply that times the object radius, you'll see they kind of seemingly go away. So we'll just multiply this by a radius offset. And 100. There we go. Now they're back. They're back on this one too, right? As we get closer, there they are. But I want the scale to be a little bit bigger. So we've got a couple things we can do here. To try to adjust these two sizes, we need to So for this one, you know, we don't actually need this scale here. We'll leave it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna make it a static variable just so we don't have to worry about messing with it. So it'll disappear over here on the right. Yeah. Okay. Now, our detail scale. One, 2.5. That's pretty small. And then on this one, yeah, you see it gets kind of bigger like that. Then we have our radius offset. So the bigger that gets, I think 0.02 is probably a good size for that. Distance to start blending in. So I think that actually makes sense, right? So as we get closer, you know, you get kind of those things. So we'll go back to this material. We're going to plug in our original normal map here. So now this will blend those two angles, those two normals together. So we'll get the normals and then we'll get our detail, which that doesn't look great, to be honest. I feel like it needs to be much smaller than that. Yeah. Well, you know, the texture resolution isn't great either. Just being a 2K texture. Something like that. Yeah, and then you can see those normal maps really kind of pop up there. So based on that size, let's see if we can make these a little bit better. Detail normal square. Go. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Check in changes. One other thing we're going to do here. Come over to another Unreal project. To add. Utah, yeah. Now where is, it's this one right here. Get the low quality version. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we've got 900 meshes. I'm going to take the material off of it. We got LODs on here. Migrate this to our screenshot island. And then in here, I'm going to go back in this mesh. So what you'll notice, so this is a nanite mesh. If I go here and I go to player collision, Right, well, it's going to show nothing because it's a nanite mesh, but you can see these trees have got simplified collision on them, which is actually pretty good. So now that I added that new mesh in here, I'm going to go in here, and as far as collision goes, use complex collision as simple. Huh. Oh, I guess they removed the custom collision. No chicks. Well, whatever. I guess you can do that. You can use complex collision as simple. That, well, that's going to give us what we want. Let's see if we can't. Oh, convex collision. Hey. Got any questions? I think that this is good. Let me actually get rid of. How big is it? 41 megabytes. Okay. Let me remove that collision, and we're just gonna stay with the. How can I make biomes in UEFN? So you're talking about like different like templates for I want this to be battle royale. So primarily what you would do, see if I can open up. So one thing that they have locked in, right, is these landscapes here, right? So you can't, these are read only, you can't modify these. But let me see if there is one that you can do, because you basically want to use, I assume, you want to use kind of the rules they've created here, but you also want to change them, like make an area snowy or a place sandy, right? But again, you want this auto material. Let's see if they have one that we can access. So Fortnite landscape customizable. Unable to edit. Weird. So what these would be is this would give you the ability to swap out those textures. To be honest with you, with how limited this is, at this point you'll have to make your own. You have to make your own material. And there's I mean, people have done this a dozen times, about 1,000 times over. There's tons of resources for that. Yeah, you pretty much just want an auto material, and then you'll swap out the things. Now, I mean, obviously, if you're making a battle royale, like you got a ton of fort stuff in here, and if you use the default material and you go into landscape, you can make. Where's my brush size? Yeah. You can come in here and just paint different biomes, right? So here's like a mud area. And then we've got sand, asphalt for putting buildings down. So I mean, you can do a lot of that, and then biome A, biome B. These are, I theoretically what I think their plan is to replace these biomes to give you the ability to edit them. But right now, they just don't. Um, they won't let you open up these instances to modify them, if that makes sense. Downloading that? What's on download? All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for joining. We got our detail normals.